Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold and lacquer mixed with, or with glue and lacquer mixed with gold, highlighting the cracks in the bowl as the most valuable part. This song's called Japanese Bowl by Peter Mayer. I'm like one of those Japanese bowls that were made long ago. I have some cracks in me. They have been filled with gold. That's what they used back then. If they had a bowl to mend, it did not hide the cracks. It made them shine instead. So now every old scar shows from every time I broke, and anyone's eyes can see I'm not what I used to be. But in a collector's mind, all of these jagged lines make me more beautiful, worth a much higher price. I'm like one of those Japanese bowls. I was made long ago. I have some cracks you can see. See how they shine of gold.
Thank you, Ken. That was gorgeous. One of my favorite songs of that artist. Good morning. So good to see everybody today. I always wanted to do this because, like people with the lights on them, you really cannot see when those lights are in your eyes. So good to see each one of you. My name is Kim Jozwiak, and I just welcome you to Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock. We are a very welcoming and inclusive community. Please know that wherever you are on your spiritual path, we're here to support you in that. Today, I'm going to be your platform assistant and your speaker, so I'm doing double duty. I'd like to start with the concept today that I'm going to be talking about. And what I'm going to do once a month, starting this month, is go through the 5 unity principles. Today, we're going to go through unity principle number 1. The second unity principle is going to be talked about next month at our family service. And that family service is going to be on the, did we decide fourth Sunday of the month? Fourth Sunday of the month in fellowship. And we're going to be discussing these concepts over food, which I always think is a good idea. So yeah, right. So we're gonna have potlucks the fourth Sunday of every month, and we're not gonna gather here. We're gonna gather there. There meaning fellowship hall. And so we just ask for you guys to bring great food to share and an open and curious mind. And we want to invite the kids. So if you have kids, grandkids, neighborhood kids that you do know and your parents know, and the parents know you, and they don't mind you guys all, inviting them. It's going to be a great experience for all of us who are also kid at heart, right? I mean, we have kids ourselves. And then Renee and Maria are going to help me kind of design these really cool experiential family services. So today, if you would, yeah, thanks, Joe. We're going to be exploring the Unity Concept 1. It's the first one we begin with. There is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life, God, the good, omnipotence. So I don't know if you noticed, I changed it up a little bit. I found this unity principle described in this way on a different Unity website, and I really was struck by it. So instead of in the universe and in my life, the subtle word change is pretty powerful. In the universe and in my life suggests a container, like inside something, and really this principle is actually in and out. It's a active principle. It's a principle that actually shows up as the universe and shows up as my life, which I found really interesting to kind of play around with. It's more descriptive of omnipotence, and the Webster Dictionary would define omnipotence as all powerful, like pure power, like the power of the star becoming, or the star exploding, or the power of life birthing. It's this thing we actually can't really see, but we see the results of it. So why 5 principles? Why principles, and why the word principle? Our early founders decided to use the word principle as some, when Unity was discovered and started happening through the film wars, science was really starting to come to people's consciousness, the late 1800s, early 1900s. So they were thinking about principles and laws a lot of the time, and people were really thinking like, wait, how does that apply to my Christianity, my belief system? And so what they decided to do is use the word principle as like a foundational understanding of some sort of law, a spiritual law. A law just like gravity. Like we don't see gravity, but we do experience it, right? Like, I know I do, like every time I try to walk. I experience gravity, I don't go floating off somewhere, which could be fun, but I don't. And so like what goes up must come down. And that's the same with this principle of omnipotence. God, the good, omnipotence. So as we explore this, the 5 unity principles in the next months, it's really an exploration of this principle, this divine principle, and how it interacts with our humanity. And as you know, just reading principles, or even reading affirmations, it is helpful, but it doesn't produce transformational change. And I forgot to ask the AV team to help me with this. I don't know if we have any, yeah, that would be great, some wireless microphones. So I'm going to engage you right now. What has produced change in your life? What has done it? How do you change? How do you transform? And if any one of you want to share that idea, just raise your hand. Thanks. Who would like to go around with the microphone? Joe will. Thanks, Joe. I've got some hands raised. We've got Kylie. Yeah. What was that? What was that? Okay. Thank you, Lori.
I don't know if I'm supposed to stand up or not.
You can stand. That would be great.
I think about when I started my meditation practice, it started with an idea.
Yeah.
It started with an idea that I really wanted to do because I couldn't figure out a way to do it.
Yes.
And then I started realizing I needed to make space for that. So I kind of created some rituals, some my own routines, and now it's so much part of my life. I can't even remember what it was like before I did that.
Yeah.
But it started with an idea that I really decided was important for me to do.
Yeah. And then it's the to do.
Right.
Right. So it's an idea, and then you put something into action that changed you. How did it change you? What did you notice?
I feel calmer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel more peaceful. I feel centered and grounded because
Yeah.
I take that time in the morning to kind of just take a deep breath and realize all is going to be working out.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is working out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lori.
Now I guess I'm the mic person.
Okay, thank you, Lori. Kylie.
The biggest change that I feel I've ever experienced in my life was a seemingly overnight spiritual awakening in 2020.
Yeah.
It, of course, has continued to snowball over these years as I've continued to pursue my spiritual growth. But it was like that overnight knowing that I was bigger than myself and my understanding of my connection to the all and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It was able to just change me in one day in such a radical way that it was almost unbelievable. And then from there, it's continued to be choice to continue to pursue it. But it was almost instant.
Was there anything the day before or prior to that that seeded that change?
Not that I know of. I felt it coming. I felt it
You
coming
felt
my whole
something
life.
coming. Yeah.
And then as it got closer,
Yeah.
I could feel it coming closer and closer. And I told my therapist, I can feel this thing coming that I've known was there my whole life, but I couldn't tell you what that thing is. And then once it was close, I could feel it. And then it was just,
Yeah.
it was there. And it changed my whole outlook on myself and on life.
Wow. And if someone were to see you behaving the day before and the day after, would they have seen any difference?
100%.
And what would that look like? How would you describe it?
Well, on day one, I was a lot of confusion
Yeah.
and a lot of feeling like I was crazy. But this overwhelming feeling of just a deeper understanding of my reason for being here and our reason for being here as human beings.
Wow. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else want to just share what change has been for them? Carla, thank you.
Eric's going to roll his eyes when I do this one.
It's okay.
Falling in love with my husband.
Yes. Oh my
Being able
gosh.
to look at somebody and say, I love you,
Yeah.
and mean it.
Yeah.
That was a huge change in my life at that point.
Yeah. And again, the same question, like, would anybody notice anything in you? Like, did it change your behavior at all?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how did it change your behavior?
Not getting into too much detail about my past life,
Yeah.
I had a bad attitude because of the situation I was in.
Yeah.
And when I realized Eric loved me too, it changed everything.
Love does change everything. Thank you, Carla. Anyone else? We have Tina up here. Oh, yes, thank you, Jan.
Mine's a little different. It sounds kind of odd, but a tragedy in your life
Yes.
totally changes you.
It does.
And when my first husband passed away, and then I was pregnant with Zach, and then he had disabilities, I changed overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was a very arrogant, privileged child, grown into a privileged adult, and then all of a sudden, I grew up in one day. After Zach was born,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah. Tragedy will do that. It is one of those transformational principles. Love, tragedy, it sounds like illumination, awareness. I saw Tina's hand up here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, still on the line of love.
Yeah.
Because, as you're talking about spiritual, like, I think, I've got a number of stories that I could go with. But I just want to point out that if we're driven by caring about others, and I won't go into the story that makes me say this, it's about what brought me to my dogs, what brought me to rescue, what brought me to all of that. And it was just it was a situation in the very beginning of like, something's wrong and I need to pursue it because I care.
Right.
And so when we pursue something because we care, because we want to express love and we want to go and help a situation.
Right.
Ultimately that when I did that, that changed my life.
Yeah.
That brought people into my life.
Right.
That brought situations and, things that I was doing.
Yeah.
It changed everything for me.
Yeah.
So, that's what I want to point out in that, not so much the story, but when we care about something and we go and follow that feeling.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. And Lori, if you want to hold on to that, later on, I'm going to have more, I'm going to interact with you guys more, and we're going to do this kind of sharing our ideas. And this is a little picture of what it's going to be like, except we're going to be around round tables and with food during our family meetings. So we're going to be exploring concepts in this way, because look at that. I mean, we got so many perspectives on what transformation looks like in people's lives. It reminds me of the word crisis. The word crisis at its root is both opportunity for growth. Isn't that cool? Like when I did my crisis training as a therapist, we talked a lot about that. Like in that moment, in that trauma, in that overwhelm, there's actually an opportunity for transformation. I love that. So, I'd like to start us with a poem. Well, not start, continue on with a poem. And I just invite you to, Joe's going to put it up on this. Yeah, there you go. And there's 2 pages to this, Joe. You can either look at the words and see if anything grabs you, or even listen to it and just notice any thoughts, images, felt sense that comes up while I read this poem. This is called Let There Be Light by Claire Conan. Tonight I awake at the witching hour, and the darkness weighs on my heart like the sea. Sheets sticky, spine weak, mine seared by the dream. I cannot reach the light as the silent wrestles me. Like an infant, I curl up and breathe deep in my belly until an old prayer appears like a lifeline to my mind. I hold the words over and over, whispering the immeasurable mantra. Let me be safe and protected. Let me be at peace. Let me be filled with loving kindness. Perhaps it is no surprise to you that in holding the words, I sense I am held. But surprise touches my spirit like the miracle in Genesis when the watery darkness becomes a womb. So if you will join me speaking out loud the 5 unity principles. And I changed the words a little bit with the first one because I really liked it, and I hope that's okay. And if anyone has any opinion that that's not okay, you let me know. But afterwards. There is only one presence and one power as the universe, as my life. God, the good omnipotence. The Christ Spirit lives within me. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. I experience God's presence and power Through prayer and meditation, I put my faith into action by demonstration. Thank you. Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock is a ministry based in prayer. You are invited to fill out one of our prayer cards over here at our prayer station. And you can just drop it right into the prayer box. Your request will be prayed over for 30 days by our prayer team and by Silent Unity. And I don't know if you know this, but Silent Unity, you can go online and you can actually call somebody at Silent Unity, and you can also fill out a form and they will pray for you. And they'll send you a really sweet little email that says that they will be praying for you with an affirmation, which is nice. You're also invited to light a memory candle in the rear of the sanctuary. Jesus is presiding over the memory candles. Those memory candles will be lit at the beginning of every meeting, and then at the end they will be extinguished. And they will be lit every Sunday until that candle finally goes out. And if you will, please leave us $2 in the little box below. That helps us purchase the candles. I would like to thank, and I'm very, very grateful, for our AV team. We have George Muligano. Thank you, George. He is all things audio and visual. And then Jozwiak, my partner in crime. He is making sure that this gets out to the internet. And today, for our music, we have Ken Johnson, and it looks like Lori Muligano. Thank you.
This performance is actually a rehearsal. It's a rehearsal for all of us because Peace Day is coming up next month, and we're going to sing the Peace Day song. It's an extraordinarily simple song, and we hope that you join along. There are days for chocolates and cards, for shooting off fireworks in our backyards, days honoring labor, barbecuing with neighbors, days to each ethnic background to give our regards. Here is a holiday we can revere, 365 days of the year. Peace Day. It's Peace Day. Peace Day. It's Peace Day. Today I'm not against anything. Today I'm not against anyone. This peace in our hearts shines in the world like a beacon, leading us home, 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 leading us home. It's Peace Day. Peace Day. It's Peace Day. This is my North Star. The world is as we are every day of the year. Deeply, deeply within your heart, deeper than thinking or your understanding, a stillness abides that shines in the world like a beacon,
us home,
leading us home,
leading us home,
leading us home, leading us home to Peace Day. It's Peace Day. Peace Day.
It's Peace Day.
Let me hear you. Peace in the world, peace in ourselves, peace in the world, peace in ourselves, peace in the world, peace in ourselves, peace in the world, peace in ourselves. Yeah, this is my North Star. The world is as we are every day of the year. Today I'm not against anything. Today I'm not against anyone. Thank you. Nice job, everybody. Peace Day is coming up. Is it the first Saturday of September?
September 6th, 3 weeks from yesterday.
Thanks to everybody who's been working so hard on that event. Many people here, including Lori. Now we enter into our time of reflection. Peace I am, I am, I am. Peace I am, I am, I am. Peace I am, I am, I am, I am peace. Love I am, I am, I am. Love I am. Love, I am, I am, I am, I am love. Joy, I am, I am, I am. Joy, I am, I am, I am. Joy, I am, I am, I am, I am Peace I am, I am, I am. Peace I am, I am, I am. Peace I am, I am, I am peace. I am peace. I am peace.
Settle in to your body, into your seat, and perhaps just be aware of what it feels like to be you. You in contact with the pew you're sitting on, the chair you're sitting on, or online, wherever you're standing or sitting on. And your interaction with the air that you breathe. And I invite you to notice what is illuminated in you. Can you name it? Can you name that spark, that light that is within you? Where in or around your body do you experience this light? How do you experience the spark that acts within you, for you, and through you? Perhaps breathe into and onto that spark and see if it can go into a flame. Take a couple of breaths to see if that spark will burn brighter. Now notice if there's anything within you, any part of you, the smallest little part even, that is trying to block your spark, your flame. Whether it a thought, a belief, a felt sense, just notice. And if there are any parts in you and around you and outside of you that seem to try to dim your light, can you ask those parts to gently relax back? And could you reassure them that it's okay? It's okay to shine brightly. Just let them know that you've got this, that those parts will be okay, that they're safe right now in this moment. Now I ask you to just notice the essence of connection. Connection to love, connection to your source, connection to others, your work. Just notice the quality of that connection. How bright is that connection? If it feels like it needs to be a little brighter or you'd like it to be a little stronger, I ask you to actually cross your arms and tap it gently onto your shoulders. That'll awaken the fire within you, the fire of connection. This tapping lights up your entire neuro pathway of connection, both in the right and left hemispheres of your brain. Now I ask you, if you'd like, to see where courage, the essence of courage, is experienced in you and through you. And that too, if it seems like you'd like that a little brighter, again, tap that in. Tap that flame. Now, look within you for that experience of creativity, the essence of creativity. And again, if you'd like it to burn a little brighter, tap that in. Tap in that flame, strengthening the flame of creativity. Now we call upon the essence of curiosity. How bright is that flame in you? And again, if it feels like you need to call it up and have it burn brighter, go ahead and tap that in. And lastly, the essence of confidence in knowing you feel like it needs to burn a little brighter, if you'd like it to burn a little brighter, tap that in to strengthen that light of confidence. There is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life. God, the good omnipotence. And now you can come back to this plane, to this physicality. Thank you. Thank you for joining me there. So when I was on a trip this last week, Joe and I were up north in Michigan, up near Traverse City. What beautiful place. Our sister-in-law, his sister, my sister-in-law lives up there, and we were enjoying family, enjoying the entire family, almost all of them, except one sister, our mother. His mother was there, 94 years old. And I was telling my sisters that I was going to be doing this talk, and I was really curious on what their thoughts were on this principle. And my sister Carol, she and I share a ton of time together. We actually travel together a lot, so much so we call each other the sister wives. I know, maybe that's inappropriate, but we do. And we travel well together, and we do things, we do household things together. We're just very complementary, and she's very spiritual. And I asked her, I go, what does like God, the good omnipotence mean to you? And she goes, oh, I know what that, and she was like quick about it too. I'm like, wow. She says, you know, for Carol, the God of her understanding is the God of all-knowing. And she sees this as always kind of imparted to her when she needs it. And she told me that especially when she looks back on her life. When you're in the moment, she said, you don't see it. You're kind of scared, you're afraid, oh my gosh, will I know what to do next? She goes, but when you look back on your life, you kind of see these like dots kind of leading the way. I call them divine dots. And these dots that lead the way, she can just see how wisdom just comes into play right when you need it. And so she told the story of when she saw this most powerfully. And she's a CPA accountant. She's a math lady. I mean, she's amazing with math. And she worked in her young years as an accountant, as a controller at a rehab center. And she had access to all this medical knowledge. She was working with all kinds of taxes and stuff with all this medical knowledge. One of the things she learned a lot about and that she didn't know about was spina bifida. And she didn't know what, she just knew it, she knew about it. She saw individuals come in and get rehab for spina bifida. Well, fast forward 25 years, about 25 years, and Carol receives a phone call, a tearful phone call, from her eldest son and his wife. They're newlyweds, they've been married several years, and they are just pregnant with their first child. They just came home from a doctor's visit that told them that their child has spina bifida, severe spina bifida. And the doctor said, I do not recommend going through with this pregnancy. This child will need a lot of care. And they were just floored. And so they're people of faith as well, and they prayed over their decision, they talked over their decision, they called their parents, and Carol is the mother. When they called Carol about it, she actually had a sense of calm about the whole thing. And as they were talking about it, they had already made the decision that they were going to keep the baby. They just thought, you know what? We're up for this. This must be what we're up for. We're going to go. We're going to go and see what happens. And Carol was able to really comfort them in this, because the doctor wasn't an expert at spina bifida. he just saw the scans and he knew what the scans and the tests meant. But he didn't know enough to give them hope. And Carol was able to give them hope that it's possible and that people with spina bifida can actually have beautiful lives. And then at the same time this was happening, Carol's daughter was in physical therapy school, and she happened to be in her internship, guess where? At a rehab center studying spina bifida. And so it was like all of these things kind of came into place where, I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't scary. Everybody was like, okay, what is this going to look like? I mean, you hear these words, you hear some of the data, the statistics, you're like, I don't know if I'm strong enough. But what we've noticed, Joe and I, we got to see this family, this young family, completely surrounded by their family. Both families are very close with siblings and parents. It was beautiful. And now Addison is 14, right? Yeah, 14. Boy, does she have a mouth on her. Oh my goodness gracious, she will tell you the way it is, and she is not afraid. One of the most confident young women I've ever met. And she's in sports, she does all kinds of things. She's amazing, amazing. I can't imagine the world without Addison. And so here's a great example of God the good omnipotence, right? Like there is some principle out there that has all the things we need at the time we need it. So, how do you experience this principle in your life when you look back? Have you ever had this happen? Where you're like, I didn't know I would be capable for what I needed to be capable for. Have you ever had an experience like that where you can trace the divine dots? If so, I'd love for you to share with us. No pressure, but would anyone like to share maybe an experience of that happening for them? And it's okay. Yeah, Kylie. Thank you, Kylie.
Go ahead,
So
Gerard.
I don't have like a specific experience. This sort of thing I feel happens more and more and more and more to me. But what the point here is that I feel when it happens, that's what I feel about spirituality. It's so experiential. Yeah. And each time something like that happens and you're able to step outside of yourself and look back at those dots and seeing how everything is aligning or has aligned for you, yes, I feel that that just further engulfs you in the trust and the faith, and it just continues. You trust yourself, you trust your higher self, you trust your connection to source so much more deeply that becomes your life. Yes. And then that becomes what you expect. Yes. And then that becomes something you can lean on and trust in a time of grief or in a time of, really bad news, such as your family had. Yeah. And I think that's like the most exciting, beautiful part about it. And yeah, I feel it creates this whole sense of wonder and this sense of like, life is now a treasure hunt. I'm looking for the next clue that's going to set me into alignment. Yeah. And then the more you trust that, the more profound it becomes in your life. So.
Oh, yes, thank you, Kylie. Thank you. Yeah. Tina, thank you.
Yeah, I can share a short story that is exactly what you're saying. Didn't realize it in the moment of while things were happening, but in looking back, realized like how amazing that things got put in place. Yeah. So in December of 2008, I suffered an accident and basically like crippled my left foot, broke it off. It was bad. Well, maybe 6 months before that, there were some things going on, and we had, I had my youngest daughter still with me in high school, and some things were going on, and we had decided maybe we'll stop renting this house, and we put everything in storage, and we went and stayed with Mom. We said we're going to spend the winter with Mom, And then in the spring, we're going to find fresh. We're going to go fresh. Well, it just so happened that December of 2008, I had this terrible accident. I was out of work for months. I was laid up for, I don't even remember how long. Went through, like, I was on so many drugs.
Yeah.
I, like, became addicted to opioids. Can't say the word. Had to wean myself off of that. I was literally bedridden for a time.
Yeah.
And so when you look back on that and realize, like, how did it just so happen at that moment in time in my life, I'm with my mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I needed total care
Yeah.
at that point. I was down. So it's amazing, right? When you
Yes.
don't realize it and you look back and be like, everything got put in place.
Yes. Thank you, Tina.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I love the sharing of stories. You know, this reminds me of a verse, 1 John 4, 7 through 8. Dear friends, let us love one another. For love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This unifying and powerful principle of God the good is described as love. Its very nature is the essence of love. In every moment and each and every day, humanity has a potential to tap into love. And we see it all the time, right? I love so many things. We interact with our animals, our plants, our earth, our friends, our loved ones. That's love. That's God. That's God the good. That's the omnipotence principle. It is our one true nature, to be loved and to love. And any time we're not experiencing that doesn't mean it's not true. All that means is parts of our egoic personality have kind of come in the way of it. And those parts of our egoic personality have been born out of survival. That's the part that means humanity. As humans, we've grown this structure to interact with life. And in that, we sometimes forget that our essence is spiritual and that we are love. So all we need to do is we don't need to condemn those parts of our personality. Actually, what we can do is invite them in and say, you're okay. Because at our core, personality is fear. And Marianne Williamson, I think she wrote a whole book on it. It's on the Course in Miracles. But basically, we always have a choice to go with our essence of love or to give into that part of our personality that's driven by all kinds of fear. There's a million different ways we can be afraid. I mean, come on, we're little bunny rabbits in the world sometimes, right? And yet, we can be little bunny rabbits and also be very gentle and loving and playful. I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of bunny rabbits this year, and they've just been playing and playing and playing and eating all my flowers. But they are so sweet, but at the same time, they do know how to get out of trouble. And a lot of times, our personality perceives trouble when there isn't any. So anytime you forget your truest expression, I invite you to take a moment and breathe on that flame within you. That flame of whatever you need in the moment. Confidence, connection, courage, some creativity, some insight, some perspective, some love. You can always return to love. That's the book's name, that's right. You can always return to love. You are light. You are beings of light. You are an essence of love, and you are loved. Namaste.
Is that coming through? Are you guys hearing that in the sound system? Yeah? Okay, sorry. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time that you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
Thank you, Ken Johnson. Here we go to our next part of our, what do we call this? Church service. We welcome your gifts and donations. You are invited to give a fair percentage of your income to support what we do here. If you're online, you can go to the unitywoodstock.org and click on the donate button. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we are self-supporting. The percentage of your income that you provide directly supports the services and events that we offer. You help create, and then you also enjoy. If you are in the sanctuary with us, please take out your gifts and place them in your hands as we bless your gift here. And for those of you at home, you can hold your gift in your heart. We acknowledge these blessings with a prayer. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. The greeters will gratefully accept your gift at this time. Also, visitors may deposit their contact card in the offering bag, and please do not feel obligated to contribute as you are our guest. And if you would pray with me or thank God with me for these gifts. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen. So we're going to do our announcements, but before I do those, please stay in the sanctuary after we finish the peace song, because we have a very important ministry announcement that you don't want to miss. So what's happening around here, Joe? Here we go. Oh, that's just what I said. And then there's food afterwards, because we love food here. On Thursday, August 21st, the men are gathering again. And also, all of these dates that you see up here are on our Unity website on the calendar. We also have a board meeting coming up this Friday. The Christ Mind Study Group is the second and fourth Saturday. Am I correct about that? Every month. You don't want to miss it. It's really a powerful, if you want to have some transformational change happen, join them. And you can join them in person or online. And then Rev Tom will be speaking next Sunday. And then after that, on the 31st, we're going to have a guest speaker. Marissa Snook is coming back. She was our speaker a couple of weeks ago. And then don't forget, September 6th, World Peace Day. Come and bring your friends. Kylie is talking on September 7th. That's also Earth Care Recycling Sunday, which is the first Sunday of every month. Higher Self-Healing Experience by Kylie. I've experienced it. It is powerful. Again, you want to see some transformational change, do stuff like this. And then again, in September, Christ Mind Study Group. All right, if you would join me in the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now.